How's it going, guys? Um, just wanted to give you guys a little update. As you guys know, well, not really an update. I'm pretty sure you guys know already, but we got 30 days until Notre Dame football is back. So we got at least, probably, I would say maybe 6 weeks, 5 weeks, um, until obviously the week one matchup against Texas A&M, which I'm really, really nervous. Of course, as you guys know, I'm really nervous. But yeah, I'm really excited for the season. Only 30 days away um, until it get, that's crazy how fast time flies. We were already, seems like we just ended, the last year's, seems like football season just ended, but now it's already here. Um, but yeah, we got officially 5 to 6 weeks, I think it is, until it till Notre Dame goes to obviously College Station. So I'm really really excited. Of course, there's going to be really really interesting, like especially like just college, like all the other teams as well, not just Notre Dame, but other teams. Like it's going to be an interesting year. I think obviously with the expanded playoff, it's going to be really interesting. Um, but yeah, guys, I'm really really super excited. We're almost there. We still got a little bit, I would say, maybe 6 weeks, 5 weeks, but we're not that far away. We're already almost in August as it is already. So we're really not that far away until, football starts again. So, um, so yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's kind of a quick video. Um, just kind of wanted to give, you guys probably already know how many days but I just wanted to make a quick video about. I'm just excited for the season. This is a big year for Notre Dame this year. Like they have to make the playoff this year. I think, as I was saying, um, it has to be a big year. The Texas A&M game is going to be one of the biggest games um, of the year, and also FSU. So I think Texas A&M, FSU. I think that's probably like the two toughest. Well, Louisville is going to be pretty tough, I would say. Still, um, I think they're going to be really, really good this year. Still, even though they lose a lot of talent, they're still going to be pretty good. Um, so that's a game that you definitely got to watch out for the season. A game that you got to be careful of, because a lot of people are saying that the schedule is really like super super easy, but it really isn't. If you think about it, like it's not really super super easy. It's pretty difficult. At like, I'm not saying it's totally like I'm not saying it's Cupcake City or anything. I'm just saying that, well, a lot of people are saying that it's Cupcake City, that it's the easiest schedule in the country, but I don't think that's true, because I think it's kind of like, I would say, I'm not saying it's not a cakewalk, but it's definitely like more like favorable than last year's schedule. So, because there's a lot of games on the schedule that you have to watch out for. As I was saying, like you got obviously Texas A&M, Louisville, you got Georgia Tech, of course, you got Florida State, and Georgia Tech. The reason why I think Georgia Tech could be a potential um, trap game is because I think that Georgia Tech is kind of in rebuild mode right now. So I think they're going to be pretty good. I think they're going to be pretty good. I mean, they hung with Georgia last year um, when they faced Georgia. So that's the thing. Like they hang around, which is really impressive that they hung around with the team like Georgia. You know, so that's a game that you really got to be careful of. Like you got to take that game really, really seriously, and obviously play to win. You know, and win the game because Georgia Tech is not going to. Again, they don't really care. They don't really care about the play. They don't care if we have. They don't care about. They don't care about what was I going to say? Sorry, guys. Um, they don't care about our goals. Like they just want to beat us. You know what I mean? They don't care about. They don't care if we want to make the playoffs. You know what I mean? Every team on the schedule it wants to beat Notre Dame, and that's why it's important that they're ready for every game they play this year. Um, because that's how you're not ready. That's how you lose again. You know, like last year when I was talking about the Clemson game, when I was previewing the Clemson game, I was saying there was a possibility that they like lose, saying that there's a possibility that they potentially lose that game, and I turned out to be right. And I don't mean to be that way, you know. I want to be. I want them to win every game they play, and I believe in them to win any game that they play. You know, I believe they can win against any team. You know, um, and I don't really like to say that they're going to lose, but when you perform like that against a Louisville team, you know you kind of have a little bit of doubt in a way, you know. Uh, so I just didn't really believe that. I don't know. I just didn't believe that they were gonna. Well, I was thinking that it was gonna be a potential loss. That's what I was saying, and then I turned out to be right. Um, Sadly, which I don't want to. I don't want to wish them to lose any game that they play or anything like that. But when you perform like that and you have bad play calling in the Louisville game and all that, and when you perform like that, you basically just don't have any doubt, or you have no you don't have you have doubt about them winning the rest other games. And Clemson is that's the thing. Like they cannot have a slip up game this year. Like they're gonna have to play and beat every team. You know, if they beat Texas A&M, they can't sit there and go lose to Georgia Tech or something like that, because that's a bad look. Um, and we've seen that with last year, when they beat USC and Duke. After they beat Duke, they went on to lose to Louisville. Then after Louisville, they went on to go beat USC, and then after that, after beating USC by a lot, they go on and sleepwalk against Clemson, which is, I wouldn't say sleepwalk, but the coaching wasn't good, and playing on the road wasn't. That's something that they're gonna have to fix. If they're gonna, that's another thing. Like, because it seems like they struggle on the road a lot more, because obviously the environment, it was pretty loud in that stadium. Um, so it's gonna be a tough game, week one. And that's the thing that they're gonna have to fix if they're gonna want to have a chance, to make the playoffs this year. They're gonna have to fix, the going when they travel, because last year they struggled big time, like the NC State game, especially the NC State game. Like they were struggling. They could not move the ball for whatever reason. It was because the crowd, it was just the crowd noise. It was loud in that stadium. I think then that Central Michigan game, I don't know what was going on in that game. Their defense was just kind of sleepwalking, but then they ended up, winning that, blowing them out. But still, like stuff like that, you gotta be more like consistent every week. Can't you can't be good one week and then the next week all of a sudden sleepwalk against a cupcake team like that, like a Central Michigan, like because we were getting pushed around. I mean, we were getting pushed around by Central Michigan guys. Like that's absolutely that's ridiculous, honestly. If you think about it, even though we won that game, we still blew them out in that game. That defense was, for whatever reason, they were. I don't know what was going on. Like I don't know if they were just tired. I don't know what it was. Um, but yeah, they kept on missing tackles. You know, I just didn't really know. But that's the thing that they're gonna have to fix. They play cupcakes. You cannot allow a cupcake team to push you around like that. All right, that's the thing. And I know you won. I know we won last year. We won. We blew them out eventually, but that's not a good look when you get it pushed around by when you're getting pushed around by a cupcake team like that. That's not a good look at all. Like, um, but I think that was just Gerard Parker. I think it was all his inexperience. That's all it was. That's what I truly believe. I think Mike Denbrock is going to. Um, I think he's going to make it a lot better this year. I really do. I think he's going to make it a lot better. I think they're going to be. The offense is going to look better. The schemes is going to look a lot better. The wide receiver, well, I think the wide receivers are going to get more separation. I feel like. So it's definitely going to be. It's going to look a lot better. I personally think. I don't know how much better it's going to be, but I think it's going to look better. I think it's definitely going to be a lot better than it was last year, because last year we can't really blame Sam Hartman for his performances. You got to blame like the coaching. You got to blame Notre Dame's hiring process. That was kind of their fault because they didn't hire the right guy. So that's not really their fault at all. Like that's definitely not their fault, or not Sam Hartman's fault. It was definitely Notre Dame's. It was just a hiring process. They put him in a tough position, and he just didn't have good coaching. So when you don't have good coaching, you're not going to look great. And I know I was kind of blaming him and all that. I was kind of trashing on him for a while, but I realized that it's not his fault. I realized that it's more of the coaching that made him, that was the reason why he didn't look that great. So at first, yeah, I was blaming I was blaming him, but now I don't really blame him because he didn't have good coaching. Like he had inexperience. He had an inexperienced OC, as I was saying. Chancey Stuckey was not a good wide receiver coach, in my opinion. I mean, he's okay, but he wasn't like the greatest. And then you had obviously, yeah, you just had inexperience all around. So that's the biggest thing. Like if you have inexperience and you don't have if you have inexperience, if you have an inexperienced OC, the offense isn't going to look good. That's the bottom line. It all comes down to coaching at the end of the day. And if the schemes don't look right, they're playing conservative the whole time. That's because the coaching isn't good. So I feel like I definitely feel like it's going to look a lot better this year. Like, I have no doubt in my mind that it's going to look a lot better. No doubt in my mind. I think 100% it's going to look 100 times better than it did. It's going to look 100 times better than it did last year. I have no doubt. And a lot of people say that Mike Denbrock is, I'm not making him out to be the best OC, all right? I'm not saying that he is the best OC or anything like that, because when he was at Notre Dame, he wasn't great either when he was there before. But he's more experienced. And that's the thing that people got to understand. Like, I'm willing to take the more, experienced, coach, like, any day of the week over an inexperienced coach. So I personally think he's going to make the offense look better. And I'm not out to make him, the greatest OC, but he's certainly better than Tommy Rees, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, though. Because he just got more experience. He's been coaching for 30 years, which that's a long time, to be a coach. So he's got 30 years of experience. So I personally think that, when you have the more experienced guy, you have the more experienced, coach, things are going to they're going to look a lot better. Just like with Mike Brown, a lot of people don't like him already, but we haven't even got started yet, and people don't like him. It's absolutely crazy that people will crap on a coach before we even get started, before we even play the season. It's just like, let's see how it plays out first before we start judging people. Because I do think that he was a good hire as well. I do. Like, and a lot of people blame him for the wide receiver recruiting and all that, why we haven't landed any good wide receivers, the skill players, basically. That's not his fault. That's not his fault. He just came in to Notre Dame. Like, he just came. And what else do you want him to do? Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, we can't expect, it seems like people expect instant everything, That's the thing. Like, everybody expects instant results, instant, everything. Nobody wants to wait and see what happens first. And they just want to jump to conclusions and say that, oh, he's just a bad recruiter. Well, I don't think he is. I think I don't think he had anything to do with that personally. I think it was more Chancey Stuckey. And another thing too is that everybody's just all crapping on Mike Brown just because, he's Marcus Freeman's friend. But why does that even matter? you always should be willing to take the more experienced wide receiver coach. As I was saying, you should always be willing to take the more experienced, coach any day of the week. And who else would they have gotten? Outside of Mike Denbrock, outside of Mike Brown. Like, I mean, there's really nobody else that you could have gotten, really. So I don't understand like why people are like all complaining about all that already. Like, can we just play football first before we start complaining? Like, can we see how they perform against Texas A&M first before we start, making judgments about, this coaching staff? Like, I mean, we have not seen. We had to see them perform first to get a better idea, because just because he used to maybe not good maybe he wasn't good the last time he was here at Notre Dame. Mike Denbrock, I'm talking about. Maybe he wasn't good when he was at Notre Dame before, but it doesn't really. It's different now, It's a different culture. It's a different time now. He's got Marcus Freeman. He's got a better coach, I feel like, than Brian Kelly. So yeah, that's the reason why I don't think that really matters. I don't think people should be hanging on to what happened a long time ago. Because I think it's different. I think it's way different now. Personally, he's got, and yeah, I'm not sitting here saying that the offense is going to click right away, because they're certainly going to have a lot of, struggles. I wouldn't be surprised if there was like miscommunication at times. So I'm not saying that they're going to all of a sudden just be this explosive offense like right away or anything. But they're definitely going to be though, like, especially if they they get the offense to match the defense, which that's kind of the goal, I guess. That's Mike Denbrock's goal anyways, in the players, which that's the good goal to have, to have the offense match the defense, which that's a good goal to have. But I personally think that the offense is going to look a lot better. I'm telling you guys. I have no doubt in my mind. And a lot of people are going to call me, delusional and all that, but I just truly believe the offense is going to look a lot better. The schemes are going to look a lot better. And yeah, maybe Riley Leonard won't be that great. Maybe he won't be that great, like, under pressure. That's the thing that I don't really know yet. Like, how good he'll be. As I was saying, is he going to be like? Because I know he scrambles. I know he's a good scrambler. But the thing is, I don't know if he has an like. I don't know if he's got like. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know. Let's just say if he's getting blitzed or something. I don't know if he could get out of that. I just don't really know about him as I think he's a good athlete. Don't get me wrong. And for the most part, I think he's pretty fast. I do think that he is pretty fast. But I do not know if he is I don't know if he's a I don't know if he's a great passer. That's the only thing, because I've never really seen him pass. I only seen him scramble. You know, he's got like a scrambling ability, which is, I guess, pretty good. I guess it's pretty good to have a scrambling ability, but at the same time, you got to have both abilities. You got to be able to throw the ball and run. To be a national championship quarterback. So I personally don't. I'm not really big on him personally, but I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see because maybe he'll surprise me. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. So I guess we'll have to see. We'll have to see how he does against Texas A&M. Uh, but anyways, guys, 30 days until Notre Dame football, college football is going to be back, and I'm really, really super excited. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe button as always. And as you guys already know, go Irish.